the ritual is wearing a dress, then we should be able to look through entertainment and see all of these people being made to wear a dress. That's what a ritual is. You know what I mean? Like, whether they're white or black, that doesn't matter. There's not other jobs where this is a requirement. Why is this?
Yeah.
Why is this so necessary? Hollywood is not really there to entertain you. Like, that's great that happens, but that's what makes information so powerful. You don't care how people feel about the ritual. You can fool yourself into thinking there isn't one, but the evidence will be clear. These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen.
Girl, this Met Gala just confirmed the allegations Katt Williams made about these Hollywood events being a ritual. And Beyoncé's recent appearance after missing it for the last 10 years is only making it worse. The Met Gala is supposed to be a charity event, but for some weird reason, only the elites are allowed to be there, and absolutely no cameras are allowed inside. The only part of the event the public is allowed to see is when they walk on the red carpet. Once they get in and those doors are shut, it's just them in there doing God knows what. And somehow, everyone who attends this event ends up becoming bigger than they were. Katt Williams tried warning us a while back that it was all just one big ritual, but everyone called him crazy. Well, it turns out he wasn't so crazy after all. Okay, so as most of y'all know, the Met Gala just happened in New York a few days ago, as it always does on the first Monday of May, which, interestingly, also falls on the same day as Beltane, an ancient pagan fire festival. And as usual, the demonic symbolisms were all over our faces. In fact, some people felt like it was even worse this year because Beyoncé attended. From the outside looking in, you'd probably just assume that this is because of security reasons. However, according to insiders, it actually has everything to do with those rumored rituals they have every time they meet. Apparently, it's a renewal of their oath and an initiation for those who are just now getting invited for the first time. Now, the question everyone was asking was, why did Beyoncé suddenly decide to attend this year after missing it for the last 10 years? Well, it all leads back to the rituals that are supposedly performed at the gala once the cameras aren't around. According to the popular YouTuber blogger Storm Monroe, Hollywood was a hierarchy system for their rituals. And for the ritual to happen, they need a high priestess to ordain it. Well, apparently, Beyoncé moved up and replaced Madonna as the industry's high priestess.
No, Beyonce is a witch. She's a very powerful witch. She's heavy into African spirituality. She is a daughter of, I believe, either a daughter of Oshun or Yemaya. I go back and forth. I feel like it's Oshun though, but if I got it wrong, I got it wrong. But nonetheless, she's a high-ranking witch. Madonna is a very high-ranking witch. She is a high priestess. That's just pretty much what it is. Of course, the main thing Madonna practices is Kabbalah, but then there's different versions of Kabbalah, just like there's different versions of African spirituality. But then I also believe that in addition to African spirituality, I do believe that Beyonce is into dark magic and black magic as well. Her and Jay-Z.
And get this. At the Met Gala, people who are below 18 are not allowed to attend. But for the first time, Beyoncé's daughter Blue Ivy was allowed to attend, and it is allegedly because she is getting initiated, because she is about to start her career. And can we talk about Beyoncé's look? It references the sinister 1940s painting, The Visitor, that depicts death dressed as a fashionable woman, complete with a hat and gown, standing at a door and ringing a bell. Now, you can read into it however you want, but if you know anything about the industry, there is definitely something sinister in this symbolism. Initially, people were unsure what to make of these allegations because of just how crazy they sounded. But it all began to make sense once it was announced that not only was Beyoncé given a new role of being a co-host at the Met, but she was also going to be making her appearance for the first time in a whole decade. What are the odds that she gets exposed for being the high priestess, and all of a sudden she's attending the Met Gala? Her role as co-host means she gets to decide who attends and who doesn't attend. And guess who was conveniently not invited this year? Nicki Minaj. Mind you, just a few months ago, she posted photos of Beyoncé and Jay-Z on Twitter, accusing them of allegedly indulging in satanic rituals. Your favorite artist has been practicing rituals in a satanic cult where they sacrifice to their god. You see, when your master is Satan, you must constantly shed fluid. However, the jig is up. Now, what's even more disturbing about Beyoncé when it comes to all this is that just last year, one of the artists that she was pushing so hard, Shaboozey, appeared at the Met Gala for the first time, and people couldn't help but notice that so much about him had changed. You see, in 2024, Beyoncé collaborated with him on her album. Now, before this collaboration, Shaboozey was still unknown to a lot of people. However, after the song dropped, he pretty much became mainstream and even got his own country hit song. Well, because of this, he was finally invited to the Met Gala for the first time last year, and people couldn't help but notice the change in his look. They called his outfit a form of humiliation ritual, claiming that Beyoncé had introduced him to that world.
Why does every black man in Hollywood get forced into feminization once they reach stardom? Mind you, the theme of the Met Gala is about black men influencing fashion, so why is he, a black man, dressed like a bohemian woman? And if this was really how he wanted to look, that'd be okay, but this man looks visibly uncomfortable. And after what Katt Williams had to say, I'm asking a lot of questions.
And he didn't lie about Katt Williams calling this, because he definitely did. Not only did Katt tell us about Hollywood forcing black men to wear dresses to emasculate them as a form of humiliation ritual to go higher in the industry, but he also spilled major tea about these industry rituals that are usually disguised as regular events, just like the Met Gala. During an interview with Joe Rogan, Katt linked transgenderism and men wearing dresses in Hollywood to rituals honoring Baphomet, a demonic figure often depicted as androgynous with goat features. He argued that no one succeeds in Hollywood without participating in such rituals, and even calling cross-dressing a sign of allegiance, where participants kiss his ass ring to climb the industry ladder. And if you noticed, Shaboozey isn't the only male celebrity who has popped out at the Met Gala or any of these other industry events in a dress. All the greats have done it, especially black men. Katt claims Hollywood is pushing propaganda through films and TV, predicting trends like transgender visibility 20 years ago, based on occult patterns tied to Baphomet worship.
Kevin told you he wasn't gonna wear no dress until they offered him the dress, and then he put it on. And what did he say after he wore it? I made my own decision. Duh. But you didn't make it before they brought it up, did you? It's okay. All right. My goal was to get this far in Hollywood and still have a virgin hole and never have sucked a p. That was my only goal. Who gonna turn down $50 million? Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about.
Hollywood is not really there to entertain you. Like, that's great that that happens, but propaganda is something that is important to all civilizations. Feel about the ritual. It's about does following the ritual work. Yeah. And so you can fool yourself into thinking there isn't one, but the evidence will be clear. So like when I be like, oh, these guys are wearing dresses. Everybody's like, oh, he keeps talking about people wearing dresses. No, it's not.
That is a weird thing.
It's not like that. Look at it from a different way. Look at it. Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully. That's how you understand what a ritual is. So 20 years ago, I knew that transgenders was going to be a thing. It wasn't because I was a prophet. It's just I had gotten so much information that I understood that things are secular. So I understood that the earliest I had seen that word transgender was Baphomet, the transgender. And so I knew that in the ritual of Baphomet, the transgender, to show allegiance to him, you had to kiss his ass ring.
Really?
And it said both of those things. So I knew that both of those things would become popular in the future, and that somehow calling people the goat would be normalized over the sheep being always the most popular reference.
But get this, y'all, it also turns out that there is actually an entire movie about this. And apparently, the movie is very similar to what reportedly happens at the Met Gala once those doors are closed, with just the elite inside. The movie I'm talking about is the infamous 1999 film Eyes Wide Shut, directed by Stanley Kubrick, starring Tom Cruise as Dr. Bill Harford and Nicole Kidman as his wife Alice. Interestingly enough, Nicole also happens to be one of the co-hosts at the Met Gala alongside Beyoncé. Anyway, going back to the movie, the story follows a rich doctor named Bill Harford in New York. He and his wife Alice seem to have a happy marriage. One night, Alice tells Bill about a strong fantasy she had about another man. This makes Bill very upset and jealous. He then spends the whole night wandering through the city. He encounters an escort and finally ends up sneaking into a secret fancy mansion party. The party was just a bunch of powerful people in masks, having ritualistic freakouts. Attendees wear robes and masks. A woman sacrifices herself to save Bill after he is exposed as an intruder. The next day, bad things start happening. The man who helped Bill get into the party disappears. The woman who saved him is found dead, and Bill receives serious threats. Later, a powerful man named Ziegler explains to Bill that it was all a warning to scare him and that he should forget everything. The movie ends with Bill and Alice getting back together. They realize their marriage is not perfect, and they must face their real desires and secrets.
Have y'all ever watched Eyes Wide Shut? I don't know, it just feels like it wasn't just a movie, like they're trying to tell us something but in code. And the film explores secret elite gatherings, masked ceremonies, and underground exclusive circles that most people are never meant to see. Not just power, but influence, control, and silence. And what makes it even more unsettling is that the director, Stanley Kubrick, passed away 1 week after a private screening of the movie. And of course, it was by a heart attack. Now, allegedly, he was pressured to remove certain scenes and he refused. The film was released anyway, but about 20 minutes were cut, which many people believe would have fully connected the dots. Now let's fast forward to when people talk about the Met Gala. A lot of old photos resurfaced, dark lighting, hidden rooms, invitation only after events. Like, some people believe they were exclusive, intimate circles, not just fashion, but symbolism. And if you notice, the vibe hasn't really changed. Even today, the Met Gala gives like Hunger Games, ritualistic themes, hierarchy power. Celebrities like Keke Palmer attended, along with many others, which makes people start asking questions. And then there's Casanet. Ever since these certain high-profile moments like LeBron James cutting his hair on stream, people say that he looks different, sounds different, and moves different.
Hello everybody, I'm currently on my laptop right now. A few days ago, I spread awareness on mental health and how important it is to take care of yourself. And honestly, for the past few months, I've been struggling with mental health out of self-doubt and fright of pursuing goals that I really want to achieve.
And yes, mental health is a real thing. And maybe it is just growth, but maybe it could be something deeper. Let me know what y'all think. I've also noticed some one-eye imagery with Coco Jones, one of my favorite Disney stars growing up as a kid. But if you want to do a deep dive on her, I think it would be really interesting to talk about because she has been looking a little different lately, allegedly.
Now, at the time, we all thought this was just a movie. But after the Epstein files and everything Katt Williams has revealed about these Hollywood industry parties, it makes things seem very different. And these allegations about Beyoncé allegedly being a witch are only making it worse. Mind you, Katt doesn't even attend these events, even though he gets invited, so clearly he's standing 10 toes down by his hands. As usual, people had their thoughts, like this person who said, "Katt has been telling the truth for years. People are finally opening their eyes." Another person said, "I remember another celebrity talking about these humiliation rituals several years ago. I wholeheartedly believe it. Katt is not making this stuff up." But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Katt exposing Beyoncé for being a witch? And do you really think the Met Gala is a ground for these rituals? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.